Okay, we're going to be looking at Hawk, who is playing Wrecking Ball, Sigma, Roadhog, I think some Orisa too as well. And this is Masters 4. It's on PC, and based on names, I would assume this is maybe Europe? What am I supposed to do against Roadhog as a tank? In this game, we managed to push the payload and cap the first 3 points, and when it came to the second round, we played decently until I choked on the last second, which in turn made the enemy team cap first point in overtime and finish them out for 3 points. In the third round, I completely collapsed and felt like I couldn't do anything because no matter how much I hooked the Roadhog or begged my support to switch to Ana, he still won't die. I do not recommend any plan that requires your teammates to do something specific. Trying to focus on the backline when working in a situation as all the supports and DPS would spend most of their time huddling around the Roadhog. This has become a repeating pattern in my matches where every time I'm winning, the enemy tank switches to Roadhog and I completely collapse. I'm starting to get irritated by this incredibly passive playstyle where I have to be a good boy by playing around walls and jiggle peek 90% of the time and never even think of being in the front line, otherwise I get hooked into oblivion. So I got excited when I saw this post. I wanted to take a look and think, hey, like maybe this is a good one to talk about the new, like how to play against new Roadhog and kind of like that, specifically like how to do that those interactions and maybe how to play ball around it. That's not really the way this game is going to work out. As a starter here, so OP has they just had offense. They did a good push, right? Capped all the way, minute and a half left. That's a really good time, right? Very strong time. I would say, upper 25th percentile for sure, maybe even upper like 15th percentile. So very strong push. Totally happy with a minute 30 left on the clock and a full push. Like thrilled with that. And OP is going to be playing ball on defense here. The enemy team has switched up basically their entire lineup. So they're going to be running Roadhog, which they weren't in the previous round, and they're going to be running Sombra. I don't think they were running Ana either. I think it was maybe they were running Ana, but I don't think so. So they've switched like multiple heroes clearly to deal with the ball, right? Like unquestionably, like they had trouble with the ball. They've switched to try to counter the ball. And this is a very normal thing, right? I think all ball players feel this, is that the enemy team switches to counters, and you're like, okay, what do I do? As a side note, everyone complains about counters, but like, what do you expect the opposing team to do otherwise? Like, if they're struggling against you, they switch to heroes that are better against your hero. That's like a normal part of Overwatch. As long as the game has asymmetric heroes, right, like where everybody's not exactly the same, this is always going to be a thing. Heroes are going to be better against some heroes than others based on their kits. That's just the reality. If they're struggling against you, they should switch. What, you want them to just keep losing? Well, that'd be great, but like that's not realistic. In the same way, like if you're struggling, you're like, oh, what do I do here? You probably, if I said, hey, if you swap this other hero, you win the game, would you do it? Absolutely. What person would be like, no, I wouldn't swap this hero to win the game? I know some people might be like, no, I seriously wouldn't because this hero's so cheesy or whatever. I guarantee you, like 99% of players, if I said just swap this hero, and I guarantee you win the game, they'd swap. That's what competitive is for, right? Everyone is trying their hardest to win. You just have to learn how to play around it, which can include swapping or just playing better. Anyway, as I said, OP, great job on offense. We're playing defense here, and they're playing ball on defense. They obviously don't know what the enemy team lineup is, and then they're actually going to do really well. They nearly full hold first, and then it all kind of goes off the rails. And then OP has trouble as ball, and then they switch off ball to other heroes. And spoiler alert, I think the meat of this review is going to be not so much like, hey, look, the Roadhog specifically is a problem or whatever, or like Roadhog versus Ball is a problem. I think you just generally struggle to play against Roadhog in general in terms of like playing around the hooks and using those other hero kits. And so I actually asked OP whether or not they were ball main, because I assumed, like, watching this replay, that they're going to be like basically a ball one trick who switches off when they absolutely have to. It's actually exactly the opposite. OP has 1 or 2 hours of ball, like lifetime, and has the vast majority of their hours. They have 131 comp hours lifetime on tank, right? And they have 200 comp hours in general. So it's actually really impressive that your Masters 4 with only 200 hours of comp. I think that's really good. You're definitely like really high, like top 25% of all players for sure, who have reached Masters, like in how quickly you have done it. But the top heroes for OP are Zarya, which we don't see this game, Reinhardt we don't see in this game, Orisa we do somewhat, and then Ramattra we don't see, Winston we don't see, Sigma we don't see. So when Ball switches off, right, when OP switches off, they're going to switch to Orisa, which is their third least played, most played tank, and then Roadhog, who is their 7th most played tank, and then I think there's something else too. Anyway, we'll get to it. So Ball starts out over here. I'm like probably not going to focus too much on the ball gameplay for the most part, because like the ball gameplay is not really the issue here, right? You force out Sombra, okay, you chase. I think this is a very dangerous chase, right? You're going back in the main. This is a hook opportunity. So the thing about playing against Roadhog is always think Roadhog gets hooked every 6 seconds. If he hasn't used his hook, I need to respect his hook. This is not just tanks, that's all heroes. Roadhog has his hook every 6 seconds. I think it goes out 25 meters. You must respect the hook and think, if I get hooked here, will I die? If the answer is yes, I need to play in a way that I don't get hooked. Now, how do I not get hooked? Number one, I just stay far away. If I'm outside the range of the hook, he can't hook me here. Right now, this Ash is not hookable by the Roadhog. It's going to stop like right around here. That's number one. Just play out of range. Number two, play near cover. So even if the Roadhog does hook me, if I just step to the left after he throws it, it'll break because there's no LOS to him. So it'll like mini stun me for a second, but I won't get pulled, which is the most important part. Right? That's kind of like the two most important things is play out of range or play cover. Number three is I can save abilities or use my own movement to juke the hook. Less reliable, but an option for certain heroes who don't necessarily have other options. So for example, Tracer, right? Tracer can't always stay around cover the whole time or play out of range because she's a close range hero. So to some extent, she's got to play in that range. But if you're playing around like your Tracer, I'm playing around, dancing around the side, it might be very hard for the Roadhog to ever get a lock on you because of how quickly you move from cover to cover, doing what you need to do, recalling back, just juking the hook with blinks, etc., etc. It's a heavily skill-based matchup. But anyway, as Ball here, right, I want to avoid a committed dive that the Roadhog knows about while he has hook. If the Roadhog doesn't have hook, I basically can ignore him completely. All right? Even reworked Roadhog is not particularly dangerous, especially to a Ball if he does not have hook. So that's kind of number one is, does Roadhog have hook? Yes, I need to play differently. How do I play differently? I certainly never go at him, right? Not in a way where he can see me coming. So for example, if I wanted to roll over the top and then slam down, that's fine. The Roadhog's never going to hook me out of that. If I want to flank, right, and bump these guys around the corner and fight over here while the Roadhog's in the front, that's fine too. These are options. If they're all clustered and I want to slam and I have adaptive shields, that's fine as well because he's not going to kill me through an extra 600 health. These are all options if I need to play around it. When he doesn't have hook, I can do whatever I want. This applies to virtually all heroes against Roadhog. If he doesn't have hook, he is not dangerous. So let's evaluate this push right here. You get the Somber low, you're going to roll, you're trying to complete the kill. I totally understand because she actually gets pretty low here, right? So I understand the attempt here. I think it's a little risky, relatively speaking, because if the Somber turns back and hacks you right now, right? If she turns and hacks you, then you probably die right now. I don't think this is worth the risk, but I see why you did it. I just don't think, I think at higher range you would die for this. Okay, so we're going to reset. You also know there's a Somber in play now. So now you have two disables to worry about, right? You have both the Roadhog hook and the Somber hack. So you need to play in such a way that neither one of these things are going to kill you. That's in addition to the fact there's also an honor in the game. You're spy checking. All right, you go out. So this is exactly what we don't want to have happen. So you're coming from main, right? Just right in front of him, rolling up and expecting to slam. And what does the Roadhog do? He sees you go, and he hooks you. That was actually a pretty good flick. So this is what you do not want to have happen, because this is going to interrupt your entire flow. It gives time for everyone to back away, and it's not really good value here, okay? Now the problem is, hey, look, I don't die here, and you're never going to die there, but you're low, and you use Adaptive Shields, which is a long cooldown. Conversely, the Roadhog has hook again in 2 seconds, so you need to bail out of here, but in 2 seconds he could just turn up here and hook, for example, the Ash off, and that's a pick. And that's something you can't do anything about because you are in retreat mode, right? You're in retreat regroup mode. You go in again, this is extremely dangerous right now. A hook here is death, right? Roadhog has hook right now when you initiate again. Right here, this is an easy hook, right? He hooks you, pulls you into his team, shoots, you almost assuredly die right now. It is very, very lucky that you do not die. This is reckless of you to do this again. So, you get hooked. So, let's think about this for a second. When we talked about the tips for Roadhog before, okay? Does he have hook? If he has hook, I need to play differently. Well, does a Roadhog have hook? He does, because we never saw him hook. It's been over 6 seconds the last hook. He definitely has hook here. Number one, am I out of range? I am not. Number two, am I near cover? I am not, right? So, you're going to step out away from the cart, which allows him to pull. Now imagine instead of going crab form, you just go ball form and you roll back and forth like this. He's never going to get a clean hook on you, in which case he needs to step up and up and up and eventually go over here, and then your team can help deal with him, and then you can kind of play ring around the rosy around the cart to try to avoid him. You just stepping out here in crab form is reckless, and now you've taken a ton of damage again. Are you going to die? You are not going to die, but every time that you get hooked in and you don't accomplish anything, you are reducing the amount of pressure you are putting on the opposing team, right? Like now, how do you create space? You have 321 health. Okay, you go in again, a sleep dart here, helix, roadhog hook again. All these things kill you right now. It is reckless of you to be slamming right now. Like you really need to heal and reset. All right, you go for the mercy. That's fine, right? You not great mechanics there. So Sombras respawn. You should know that. You get out of it quickly, which is good. Quite frankly, it's not really your job to deal with the Roadhog. You have no tools at any range to outdamage the Roadhog. Not at close range, not at medium range, not at long range. Like, it's just, these are not good trades for you. For the most part, you're going to ignore the Roadhog and continue attacking and pressuring his backline. With the exception of when the Roadhog is setting up for hooks, if you have the opportunity to bump him out of position to either save a teammate or prevent him from hooking or get him killed, that's a really good thing to look for. But right now, he's only looking at you. So I don't need to take this fight at all. I don't even need to take the risk of being hooked right now. I can just chill here, right? And do basically anything I want and be like, okay, look, does the Roadhog rotate top high ground? Great. In that case, I can go push the back line, or I can go over here and help my team kill the Roadhog. Otherwise, I don't really want to be messing with him at all. Not great movement here, obviously. This is pretty ugly. Do not want to take the fight at close range. He just... Roadhog, highest damage tank in the game. Do not mess with him at close range. I think this is very reckless. Do you know he doesn't have hook? Oh, you see a miss. Okay. So, like, I sort of understand, but, like, also let's think about risk-reward scenario. What... Like, is the Mercy really going to die here? I don't think so, based on, like, how far deep we are in the alley. I don't think the Mercy dies here regardless, even with perfect aim. So, yeah. And now, we're continuing to go deep. For the record, this is not like a Roadhog specific thing. There's 1, 2, 3, about to be 4 heroes right now. What are you doing back here? Your whole team is playing over there. This is not where tanks play. At any tank, right? Brawl tanks, dive tanks, ball, no tanks on defense play over here. Your job is to hold this space, right? This diagonal line, everything to the right of this, you need to be holding. Not trying to fight over here. And your team is like, what the heck? How do they help you? They can't help you over here. Right? And once again, you're burning resources, and now you don't have adaptive shields, and you're low. So now you need to reset, you need to get healing, and that means you lose pressure on the opposing team. Roadhog misses another hook. He pops Soul Hog, right? You get gripped out, get saved by the Life Weaver, right? You go get the Mega. Oh, lucky that you hit the Sombra on the way in. Alright, so, let's think. Remember, if you've just been setting up someplace safe, okay, and just like kind of like playing around whatever they're going to do. You have adaptive shields, you can do whatever you want, go wherever you want, right? Spy check, deal with a Sombra, etc., etc. But now that you've been pushed out, see what happens. You need to go to the Mega, Roadhog pushes in. This collapses the space. Your team can no longer rotate through Mega Room safely. The Roadhog is cut off their right side, and then, what is this, the Moira? The Moira is cutting off their left side, and then you have pressure from the Soldier over here and the Sombra. So your team is getting pinched between all of the enemy team. This is bad for you. You're going to come out right now, so you got your team's trade. Not great mechanics right now. I think that's probably, again, as not a ball player, it's hard for me to tell. I think that your best option right now is... Oh, it's tough. I think your best option here is to roll, bump the Soldier, wall jump, right, and then slam. Ideally, the Mercy will get there, but like the Mercy's not actually visible. So if you knew the Mercy where the Mercy was, I guess you actually kind of do know where the Mercy was. You could roll here, bump her, right? Try to get altitude here by doing a wall jump or from the grapple itself, and then slam the Mercy. Is probably your best option. Soldier would be number 2. But this is just awkward, and none of the things here go right. All right, Roadhog is back again. You try to get away. I don't think the slam makes sense, other than maybe you just tried to get height. But I think that you are also fine here, just like juking and going into the room would probably have been okay. Yeah, I don't know why the Roadhog doesn't hook you right now. Yeah, right here, I would have hooked you as the Roadhog. But you're still here, still alive. You're going to get a Pixel Soldier. Great, excellent. Right, you get hooked, you get out. Good. So you try to get away. So one thing I would think about is when I roll away, I realize my Ashe and my Mercy are here. I actually can't go very far. Because if I leave this spot, the Roadhog is going to climb the stair behind them and hook and kill my Ashe. So I would be like, oh, okay, in this situation, I'm just going to fight it out. I don't want to fight point blank, but like go here, reset the cooldown, right? Poke the Roadhog a little bit, wait to see when that hook is coming, then roll in, slam the hog in order to prevent the Ashe kill. But going out here, I think is not so good. But Roadhog's going to heal up. Looking for the Ash again. Like if he hooks here, it's a kill, so you need to be worried about that. Well, the new one shots are tricky, but I'm just noting that it could potentially have been a kill if he has a trap. All right, so you're chilling. So you hear the hog. This is very dangerous to be rolling here. The hog should 100% have heard you and hooked you here. At higher ranks, they're not gonna miss that audio cue of you rolling. Like it's very audible. Like I can hear it right now out of my right ear. I can hear you rolling. So the hog should be looking for you right now. This is a bad engagement. Like first of all, your grapple was way too far. Like you're trying to grapple this pillar, and I don't think you're even close. Oh, it's so fast. Yeah, I think it goes out to like roughly here. It's so fast, even in 0.25x speed. But like you can tell, like you're not particularly close to the pillar. You should just grab this wall. That's number one. Number two, rolling through the hog here is dangerous because you're going to roll him, hit him from behind, and then end up in front of him. He could just hook you back towards his spawn, which would be bad for you. You don't need to be engaging right now. Your team has high ground control. Like this is like a risk for no value. Roadhog misses the hook. All right, you go for the Moira. Force fade, but like you're stuck in the corner. Yeah, you need to get out, but you also could have done a wall jump there for the slam. Get super low, and then you're going to die. So, this is what kind of triggers, like your team is well on the way to full holding. Like, they're not making any appreciable progress here towards clearing a high ground. You have everybody in position, you have Mercy there, etc., etc. Like, you trying to do this play right here for no reason, right? This is like supreme overconfidence here. There's no need for you to be doing this right now. This is all risk, no reward. Even if you kill the Moira here, her spawn is right there. Who cares? Like, you don't need to force a fight here. Let them step up and then, like, burn more time, and then you can fight them, and they're further from their spawn. But this right now is all no good. I think thinking that you can just roll in a straight line here away from the hog is not going to happen. Like, from the hog's perspective, this is an easy hook. Always think, from the enemy's perspective, how easy is it for them to get the kill on me? At least your team trades out. Okay, you get rezzed. Okay, I would note here that your team is doing a really good job getting picks, not constantly. To be fair, part of that is your space that you create. In this scenario, I don't think that you really did particularly much. I think that you made a mistake and your team did a good job covering for you. Right? But the problem is you're going to lose the Mercy and the Widow for it. Again, I don't know that this is the time where I want to be diving at this moment in time. Okay? So over here, there is a Sombra, but not that you would know that, but like you might hear that. Oh, you definitely hear this right now. You would hear this and /see your Ana taking damage. You should have gone over here to help your Ana, number one. Number two, who am I trying to fight over here? Moira has Fade, Soldier's over here, Soldier like cannot be soloed by Ball. So, like, this is, once again, bad target priority. You try to slam somebody who has Fade, and then she gets away, and now I'm just wasting my time. Instead of maybe going after the Sombra. Sombra's bad, though. Sombra's dies. Okay, great. We're going to trade out for it. Unfortunate. I think over here you're like trying to camp the cart, maybe? I don't know why you're shooting there. So you go for the Soldier. Again, this is what I'm saying. Soldier is not soloable by Ball. Like, only under the most advantageous situations can you ever solo kill a Ball, because it's like impossible for you to outdamage his healing station and from full health. All right, you're going to get out. You're going to reset. Okay, this I agree with. Let's reset. Let's fight us 5. Okay, so let's think about this. Roadhog is a danger. He's going to turn this corner. I want to make sure if he hooks me, I do not die. I don't really want to be playing like up here per se, or like over here. I definitely want to be playing back here, okay? Ideally, I want to control somewhere on the left side and then reset over to Mega Room as needed. Okay, and then maybe coming back up to get health. But mostly, I think left side, I have lots of line of sight breakers. I can break the hooks really easily, and then my team has control over here, so we can pincer the enemy team. As they come through, I come in from the right side, my team comes in from the left side. If they all go right side to flush me out, so be it, right? Then I can rotate over here, and I can take Mega Room, and I can go around them, and I can push them from this side. So, understanding where the enemy position is, and just figuring out, okay, what do I need to do as a result of that is really important here. I don't want to be coming from main. That is the last thing I want to do. Okay, so you set up behind for the flank. I think this flank is too early. Right? I think that you get a potentially good slam here, but like your team, I mean, actually, maybe I take that back. Your team is like reasonably in position, so I'm actually okay with this. I'm surprised your team dropped off high ground. I didn't expect them to do that. I don't think at higher level play your team would drop there, because there's no reason to drop and play this corner. But I think with that in mind, I think this slam is okay. You get hacked, you pop shields, right? We need to get out. Hog nearly dies, that's fine, right? Get the mega, reset. Oh, you get healed. You already get the mega, great. So your Mercy dies, unfortunate. Nearly killed the Kiriko. Okay, good, yep. Sombra's low too, you're looking for her, right? You see she's low. Here it is, where is the Sombra? Oh, she's this way. Did she juke you? Oh yeah, she juked you. Good juke by her. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so that's fine. Right? Good hold. Again, 12 seconds left. Final fight territory. The Roadhog is not, strictly speaking, a problem for you. You're doing just fine against him as ball. So, because we should remember that. So you roll past the Roadhog. But let's think about this for a second. If I roll past the Roadhog, what if he hooks me right here? Right? Or specifically, what if he hooks me right here is really the worst part. Then I'm going to deal with the Roadhog, the Kiriko, and the Soldier all at once. Granted, they're 10 seconds away from the cart, so like that's a thing, but I don't think you want to be engaging right now. I think if you want to be engaging here, the correct thing to do is literally to just bounce the Roadhog away from the cart, because he's the only one who can touch here besides the Sombra. But I think the engagement over here is fairly dangerous. You also don't know where the Sombra is, for the record. So I think this is reckless for a lot of reasons, and it's not worth the risk. Like, don't think here, oh, we can stop him from touching cart. I think they're going to touch your cart here no matter what. Either the Roadhog's going to do it, or the Sombra is going to do it. So either way, I think that you just, like, don't play around the idea of, like, oh, I'm just going to prevent the backline from getting the cart at all. Because it's quite risky here. Alright, you rotate behind. I think this is a bad rotation, because I think this takes too long. Okay, by the time you get here, the Roadhog's already on cart, the Moira's on cart, the Soldier's over here, and now you just arrived, and the problem is you don't have grapple. So it's really hard for you to actually do anything right now. You can't get a slam in. Like, this is bad, right? You took way too long to start this engage. That being said, still winnable situation. You're going to have mines in a second, right? Moira fades, and then you roll straight into the Roadhog. This takes too long, right? Instead of, look, if you've been over here and you just rolled in right away, right, and then slammed right away, then maybe the Roadhog doesn't have time. But now he sees you in the backline, heard you, saw you in the backline, because you're taking all this time to fight the Moira, so the Roadhog knows you're there. He's going to look, he pops Whole Hog, and it's completely shut you down. So that's really unfortunate. Don't worry about the Moira, that's waste your time. So still, an option to get a kill. I think this is a okay rollout. I think that geometry here is a little tough. I think, because really what you want to do is you want to get over here immediately. You don't want to swing over in front of them. I think it's a creative use of the space. I think that you really want to figure out how to get to this side right away. I'm trying to think if you actually can use this to get enough height. If you're here, to get enough height to go right over the top. Anyway, but like general idea here is fine. But like the setup here takes too long. So you mine, you slam. Okay, right? You should pop shields right now because you just slammed into like the whole team. So this will get you 2 people right now. So you should definitely pop shields right now because the Roadhog is a threat. And then you're going to die with shields available. That's bad. And this fight is won if you don't die here. There's only the Roadhog and the Kiriko left, I think. Yeah, only Roadhog and Kiriko left here. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4 people alive. So if you just pop shields here and play safe, this is a win. You know, like your DPS are popping off. But because you are not there, right? Kitsune gets popped, Roadhog's here, Sombra shows up finally, a lot of damage, and then the people on the cart die. So despite it being what would have been a 5-on-2 if you stayed alive, it turns into a 4-on-2 and then 4-on-3 when Sombra arrives, and then like because they have a tank and your team doesn't, they're able to push through. Your takeaway here should not be, I can't play ball against Roadhog. Because I think we demonstrated you got a lot of success continuing to engage against them, even though you made mistakes. Granted, the opposing Roadhog makes mistakes too. You got a lot of value here playing ball against Roadhog. I don't think you should have given up playing ball in this situation unless you feel very confident in whatever hero you're going to. I don't even know why you'd be frustrated from this. Like, I don't feel like the ball was shutting you down by any means. Like, yeah, he got you sometimes. He prevented you from doing whatever you wanted, but like every tank is going to have some degree of that, of like kind of ruining your day. That's the point of tanks. So my instinct here would not be, oh, I need to switch off ball. But if you want to switch off ball, that's fine, but you better switch off to somebody who you're better at than ball. So you're going to stay ball. I think you stay ball for 1 more life. Alright, just chilling here. Again, this, you gotta be a little careful, right? Because you're revealing your position as to where you engage. If the enemy team sees you up there, you're like, okay, ball's coming from here or ball's coming from there. Versus if you took the time to go all the way to the left and behind, you could get a nice, easy engage on this side. But you go straight in, right? You slam. Okay, 2-man slam. You pop shields. But let's back up for a second. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4 people on cart. Is this where we want to be taking a fight? Like, yeah, you're slamming multiple people, but your team is really far away. Your Ana just spawned and had to walk back from far spawn. Here's your Mercy. Here's your Ashe. Here's your Widow. They can't help you at all. You're fighting a 4v1 right now, and the Roadhog can easily zone your whole team. See, the Roadhog's like, oh, okay, cool. I'll just sit here and wait, and maybe he can kill you on the way out. So you just burn through your engage, your element of surprise, your adaptive shields, your health, and now you have to leave. Oh man, you really should die right now. Yeah, see? This is just a bad engage timing by you. Like this, like, look at the situation of when you engaged, right? One of the things about tank is try to have like a bird's eye view of the map at all times in your head. So when I'm playing as, let's say Winston here, right? Because I don't play ball. Let's say I'm playing Winston here. I'm thinking in my head, where are all the enemy players and where are my teammates? I have all of this in my head non-stop thinking about where people are. Do I get it wrong sometimes? Do I lose track of people? Absolutely, right? I'm not like some sort of, I'm not an AI. I can't like keep track of everything. But I know generally this is the lead element of my team. These are where my teammates are behind the lead element. This is where the enemy team is. Here is the Roadhog. I would at least know that. I would at least know this picture right here and know the other 3 teammates are behind the Widow. So if I look at this map, and I would not think, hey, now is the time for me to engage on the enemy team. I would think, look, I need to slow down right now. My team's just not ready. I can't go in. As Winston, I definitely can't go in. But as Ball, like, you have more leeway, but that doesn't necessarily make it a good engage just because you don't die. A big part of that is you simply just don't look behind you. Oh, never mind. You do look behind you. I take that back. You look behind you and you decide to go anyway. So now I really can't explain this. You definitely look behind. You're like, oh, look, my teammates are really far away. And then you decide to engage anyway. So this is just cocky. This is, like, just reckless. So, yeah, all in all, very bad play. And it's unfortunate because that spot right here, this choke is one of the hardest chokes in the game to push. I would say this is harder than this next area to take. So you gave up the opportunity to contest that space by dying early, right? Nothing to do with ball, just a really bad engagement timing. So you're gonna play a Sigma here. Sigma is your, what, 6th most played hero, right? 6th most played tank. So we're gonna come out here. You go for the Sombra, right? Okay, so Roadhog sleeping. What do? Kill the Moira. Attack the Moira. Force fade, right? Make sure the Roadhog doesn't get any help from here. You're just staring at the Roadhog. This is no good. Just go for the Moira right now. Like, you're just wasting time. See? 1, 2, 3. Like, 3 seconds go by where you could have attacked this Moira 3 times and potentially killed her instead of just trying to go wait for the Roadhog. The Roadhog's never going to die here. Even if you landed the rock, the Roadhog never dies. The Moira is here, right? The entire team is here. The Kiriko's here. She gets Suzu out of it. Like, the Roadhog never dies here. This is bad target priority. You can't be aiming for the Roadhog right now. And then he's going to kill your Widow here. Like, I understand trying to rock her out of it, but, like, it's, like, so problematic at that point. I think that it's from there, after you rock the Moira, you should have gone and tried to kill the Moira. But, yeah, I think everything here kind of just goes wrong. All right, you're going to grasp to try to... So I think the problem is with your Widow dead, you need to create some space for the res. So I think grasping here makes sense. You're pretty low, but they have ultimates. You're going to get low here. You're trying to play corner. All right, you go for the Sombra. All right, cancel a hack, or try to cancel a hack, and then you're going to die. I think the issue here is that your team's just going to get run over. Their team is way brawlier than yours, right? Between the Soldier, the Roadhog, and the Moira, they can just walk over you when you're playing as Sigma. If you're playing like Orisa, you could stop them here. Ramatra? Maybe, right? Reinhardt? Maybe. But as Sigma, they're gonna steamroll you. Sigma is an attrition tank. You wear them down over time, right? Over time, you want to be kiting them, right? Constantly kiting, right? Playing back, damage. Eventually, you overwhelm them, and that's when you can push back in and take the fight. But this turns into a brawl because the initial mistake, not killing the Moira, or at least forcing Fade away, is a big problem. And then allowing your Widow to die here is also a problem. And now, with the Mercy resing here, everything has gone awry. You have, like, no chance of winning this fight. Like, I don't think I could have done anything differently than you that would have made a difference once you failed to kill the Moira. I think that no matter what, you're going to die here. Okay, so you decide not to keep Sigma. I would note that you're at 46% ulti right now, and this area is phenomenal for Sigma. This is exactly what Sigma wants. Sigma wants long sight lines where he can attack people and use all 22 meters of range to his advantage. Okay? You want to fight out here. You don't want to fight in here. This is bad because this is very tight, so you can't use your full range. You want to be fighting out here. Sigma is great in this situation. You're halfway to ultimate right now. I don't think you switch here. You switch Roadhog. Now, Roadhog is one step below your Sigma, so your 7th most played tank. Based on your Roadhog play, I don't think that you can play Roadhog at your current level. I think it is very obvious that you do not feel comfortable enough on Roadhog or skilled enough to play at your current level without a tremendous amount of investment. So we're going to cover why. You're going out here. I would note, the first thing I'm thinking of is I don't want to walk out here because if the Roadhog jumps and hooks me, I die. If he jumps and hooks you, and Roadhog's an easy hook, I would never expect Roadhog to miss a Roadhog. If he hooks me here, pulls me to low ground, I die. There is no way for my team to save me in that situation. But you are just like running straight up here without a care in the world, which is reckless. I think what you have to do here is just play slow, right? Wait for your team to come out, then use corners, like look for people to hook, and then if you play this corner, their Roadhog also needs to play defensively at the corner, and you guys kind of play the jiggle peek game of like, you know, trying to see who can hook whom. As you said, you get irritated by this passive play style. I don't know, play Orisa or something, so, like somebody who can bully the Roadhog if that's what you want to do. But playing Roadhog is not it. Not unless you land a good hook. So this is a really good example. You're taking huge risks here. So you are looking for a hook. The Roadhog is also looking for a hook. For the record, he easily could hook you here. He sees you the entire way. So even right here, he could have hooked you. But he sees you right there. He could have hooked you. He's just a little bit slow. You might think, oh, I made a good play. Not really. Because let's think about this. If you hook him here, does he die? No. He's just going to be like, cool, you hooked me. We both trade shots. And then he just walks back to low ground. There's no way you kill him in this situation. But if he hooks you, you die. Don't take trades where even if you play perfectly, you don't accomplish a lot. But if you don't play perfectly, you lose the fight. Like, that just has to be like a core element of the risk versus reward calculation in your head for all tanks, all heroes, all situations. Take good fights. Do you want your game to be decided on whether or not you get hooked off high ground by the enemy Roadhog? If not, look for a different fight, because this is not it. Also, your team can't help you. Even if you did have an Ana, she's not going to be able to do anything here. Great, she's over there. She lands Ana or Sleep Nade. Yeah, there actually is an Ana over here, right? She lands Sleep Nade. Doesn't matter. He's still going to walk to low ground. He's not going to die. There's not enough damage here at this range to kill the Roadhog. So, I have 2 seconds left on hook. I have 180 health that's missing, 170 health that's missing. The whole team is backing up. I don't need to do anything right now. If I get hooked, I die, as a reminder, because I have no mobility here. I cannot escape if I get hooked to low ground. I just need to play this corner and be like, look, can I get a freebie? No? Yes? No? Okay. So you throw a trap in, you heal, and then you intentionally jump off, get hooked, right? And now people are all blowing you up. You get low, lamp is popped to try to save your life, you're still low, and you're going to survive by getting behind the Bob. But you made it to safety. Your team did a good job keeping you alive, right? It required the Bob ultimate to save you and the lamp. You didn't actually need it, but like lamp was thrown because he was worried about you getting blown up, which is understandable. Then right now, I have hook, but I only have 267 health. There's a full health Roadhog right here. The goal is not, I need to take a fight right now. I need to play the card. Right? I need to play the cart and see if he leaves cover enough for me to jiggle and then be able to get a hook on him. Otherwise, if I get hooked here, I die. Guess what? You just run straight at him, get hooked in, and die. Let's look at it from his perspective. Like, it doesn't look like you know what you're doing on Roadhog. Okay? You come out here. Why are you dropping? Like, if I look at this, I'd be like, hello? Like, I know there's a Bob going on, but the Roadhog can tank all the shots right now, and you're vulnerable when he pulls you down, right? You go through the trap, you're slowed, He gets a ton of damage in on you, right? Reloads. Okay, he's like, okay, cool. Next phase of the fight, he's looking for a hook, and you're like, oh, the Roadhog with 1/3 of his health is running in a straight line at me, hooks me forward, and then he dies. This is not what Masters Roadhog play looks like. The enemy Roadhog, yeah, sure, I believe it's Masters. You don't even look like you're high diamond in Roadhog. It doesn't feel like you had a plan here. Like, literally, 267 health rate, 337 right now. Why am I engaging? This is a bad play, right? Now EMP gets popped, and now it's over, right? Now what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do at this point in time. So, lots of mistakes. So we're going to try pushing right now. So you're going to play Roadhog again. Again, I do not think that your Roadhog is as good as your ball even, despite your ball being fewer hours. I just don't feel it. So you're going to push left side. Okay, that's fine. Looking for the soldier. All right. Or you lost one. Okay, not a lot you can do about that. So you throw trap. And then you throw trap. You know the soldier's here because you like hear/see him, right? You see him over there to the left. You're looking for the soldier. You know there's a Roadhog main because you saw him on the way up. And then you look for the soldier, and then you walk to the ledge over here, and then you get hooked down. Again, watch it from his perspective. He knows you're there. He's pinging, he's looking, he jumps, and he hooks you. What are you doing? Are you tilted? I don't understand. Like, this looks like a bronze Roadhog who is single-mindedly, like, tunnel visioning. There's also Somber chasing you. Just walking up high ground, ignores the fact that there's a Roadhog on low ground. Like, you could have at least played to the left. If you play the left, fine, I can understand that. You look for a kill in the Roadhog, you try to clear the space, I think that's reasonable. But you just like, strolled in front of high ground, not even thinking, like, just zero awareness of what's going on here, and then you get hooked down. And of course, from here, you're in bad shape, right? You're forced to use all your heal. Roadhog is ahead of you in the damage race now, and he's continuing to burn you down, right? You get gripped out by Leaf Weaver to save. Roadhog misses that hook on you, lucky. And now we have to come back in. But the Roadhog is just creating so much more value than you are by virtue of the fact that you're just not thinking about how to play against hooks. I think that is a reasonable hook, right? You miss it. Unfortunately, I think maybe it was a little short, would be my guess. I think it's just slightly short. Yeah. Yeah, so it's about 4 meters short. But if you're going to play Roadhog competitively at Masters, you need to know exactly how far it goes. When I saw that, I was like, this is not going to hook. I didn't even play Roadhog, and I know exactly how far that hook goes. I know that is not going to get me as a support, and I would feel totally comfortable with you being at the range. That's part of the reason why they're staying in the open there, is because they can't actually get hooked by you. But you didn't realize that. So your hook's on cooldown. Now, let's watch our movement. I have no hook right now. I need to play safe. I need to use cover. I am not a threat right now. So, I missed the hook. What do? I see the Roadhog is here. I come up to the left, and I use the cart to prevent him from getting a clean angle and hooking at me. Is that what you do? No. You're going to go this way, away from the cart, into the open. Which means, easy hook, you go in the trap, and once again, he's going to blow you up. Right? This happens to you over and over and over. The Roadhog, the enemy Roadhog, is way better than you. Not like a little better than you. Like, I mean, I don't know overall about tanking, but specifically, his Roadhog is on a completely different level than your Roadhog, right? If we say that his Roadhog is Masters 4, your Roadhog literally looks, at best, low diamond. And I don't even think that I'm confident saying that it is low diamond level. Like, you're giving up over 5+ ranks by playing Roadhog right now. It like, screams itself from your play. Like, you don't feel like you have the skill with Roadhog to get kills, stay alive, play in the Roadhog mirror, right? Your plan is, I will spawn, I will walk out here, I will jump in the open, and I'm going to hook somebody. And if it doesn't work, so be it. That's not the way it works, right? You have to play Roadhog like he is a DPS. Use cover. Look for pick opportunities with the hook. Oh, they have hook? Okay, I gotta be careful here. And, like, we could go into more detail about the Roadhog 1v1, but it doesn't matter because the enemy Roadhog is, like, steamrolling you just based on the hooks alone. There's a lot of nuance to actually, like, the shots of, like, trying to understand, like, when to shoot, like, when to hook, etc. That is interesting, but there's no point talking about it because right now you're just getting hooked out of position constantly. All right, you're super low right now. You're going to hook a Roadhog to you despite the fact that you have 192 health. The Roadhog one taps you in the face right now, but you're extremely lucky that he has no ammo because you should be dead, right? You see, like, you're like, oh great, I can finally get a hook on the enemy Roadhog, but who cares? There's no follow-up here. You can't kill him. Nobody here can kill him. Even if your casting was here shooting at him, he's still not going to die. This is a mistake. Instead of using your hook on, for example, the soldier. Alright, you're super low here, and then you're going to die. Right? But ultimately, why do you die here? It's because you lose the sustain match. The Roadhog is hooking you repeatedly, he's doing way more damage than you are to him, which means you have to spend more time healing, and your team has to spend more time healing than he does, which means he stays high in health and has all of his resources while you don't. Like, you ultimately just get burned down here because your team can't do enough to keep you alive. They're trying, but they just can't. Because you're just not that good at Roadhog, right? And again, if you want to be forcing Roadhog in this situation, I think you really need to practice a ton more in quick play and feel much more comfortable playing against like level competition that like is approaching this one. Okay, so we're coming out here again. This wide peak, crazy dangerous. You know about jiggle peeking because you mentioned it, right? Jiggle peek here, confirm the location of the Roadhog, and then decide what to do from there. I can't just swing out wide all the time, right? These wide swings are reckless. So you're going for the Moira here. Okay, you get the Moira kill. I understand that because you saw fade. The problem is the Roadhog is going to pop whole hog. But I mean, aim here is pretty good. Aim here is not an issue. All right, okay, so this goes back into mechanics, right? For the Roadhog right here, you always want to shoot before you throw the hook because the shot is free. Because hook is an animation cancel for shot, but not vice versa. So shoot, hook, shoot is the correct order to do this. You hook first, and then you shoot, which means you lose out on a huge chunk of damage from your shot. I would also note, after you hook, you should be going for the headshot, right? There is no world where you should not be landing like 3/4 of your pellets at the Roadhog's head right now. Look up, pow. Massive double damage shot into him. Instead, you're going to put all these pellets into his upper chest. No double damage. This is bad, right? But these are just like mechanics. These are like how Roadhogs win 1v1s. It's just better mechanics here, right? Better mechanics, better timing, better peaks. None of that is coming out from your play. The enemy Roadhog is just so much better than you are. So, right here, I got 308 health. What's the Roadhog's hook situation? He has 2 seconds to hook, because I haven't seen him use hook in a while, which means I need to play safe, let the Mercy and or my own healing keep me back up, and then I need to engage. The Roadhog still looking at me? Great. I'm going to just keep sitting here and chilling and jiggle peeking until I confirm he looks at somebody else or I have health, because otherwise he could shot, hook, shot, one tap me right now. I need to respect the one tap in this situation. He shoots me, you drop down below 200, your Mercy's healing you, you get hooked, you get shot, you're down to 145, and then you die. Yeah, I mean, there's no point in us talking about off-angling or space control or whatever. Like, you're just getting completely diffed by the Roadhog because you do not respect hook, you don't have good mechanics, right? You don't land all that many hooks, you don't have good timings, you don't seem to pay attention to your own health, you don't seem to necessarily know where your team is. Like, all the things here are going poorly. And I feel like at some level this has to be tilt, right? Like, you're like, oh, I lose against every single Roadhog, but it doesn't have to happen that way. The Roadhog is not like amazing, right? We saw him miss tons of hooks when we were playing on ball. You're just forcing a hero right now that you don't have that level of skill at. Like, this would be the same thing. If I tried to play Roadhog in GM, I'd get dumpstered, even with the rework. There's no way that I could be competitive Roadhog because I just don't have the hours. I don't have the hours at this level of skill. No chance. All right. There's nothing you can do at this point. I mean, they're a pop ultimate. And, yeah. I don't even think it's worth reviewing defense. Because, like, you guys have, like, there's a minute and a half to stop the card getting from here. There's no point in me reviewing the Orisa gameplay. So we'll stop there. What is, we covered, what, Sigma, Roadhog Ball? Yeah, Sigma, Roadhog Ball. Okay. Let's go back to, in summary. Number one is, I think your Wrecking Ball play looks significantly better than your Roadhog play. And I don't think the Roadhog was giving you enough trouble that you had to switch off ball. That's number one. Number two, as Sigma, for the very brief amount that we saw as Sigma, I think you need to play a lot more space there, but I think he was still a good pick for the situation against their lineup. I think you gave up on Sigma too quickly and gave up ult charge too, which prevented you from having any impact after that. On Roadhog, there is a massive skill differential between you and the other Masters 4 tank in every single respect, right? Like, your hooks, your peaks, you know, healing usage, right? Timing, everything, even trap usage, right? Everything. So, did you even get whole hog like once? I feel like I never saw you use whole hog. Like, I don't think you're holding it. I think it just didn't happen that you ever ended up actually having your ultimate. Yeah, see? Like, at this point, you can't win this anyway. Yeah, see? You actually literally never get a whole hog ultimate. So your constant counter swapping is preventing you from getting enough ult charge to have a tank ultimates. Tank ultimates are very powerful, right? Not having a tank ultimate means that's like basically a few fewer fights that you can't swing in a game because you don't have that ultimate because you're constantly swapping, which is no good. I think you need to decide, look, what hero default do I want to play against Roadhog? And just train and practice that hero. That kind of hero could be whatever. It could be Sigma, it could be Diva, it could be Orisa, it could be Zarya, right? It could be Reinhardt. Lots of options. It could be Junker Queen. There are options. I think playing against Roadhog is typically a skill-based matchup. I don't think he straight counters anybody, including even Winston. Obviously, as Winston, you can't kill the Roadhog, and you definitely want to kill the Roadhog. Like, it's very clear you don't want to ignore the Roadhog, you want to kill his team. Or you want to kill the Roadhog, not his team. And that's its own problem, but Winston's not going to help you with that, and I would not recommend you playing Winston against him. Okay. I'm going to stop there. Hopefully this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.